All right, y'all. So I didn't really want to make this video, but because of what was said in the most recent interview, I feel like I at least have to get my thoughts out. I think now is a good time to at least get my thoughts out on the whole situation from my point of view. So I gotta first differentiate the difference between just fans and these rabid people who call themselves fans. There are some people, not most, but there is this certain sect of people that believe if you're really a fan of somebody and they have a beef with somebody else, you now have to hate that person. You can't appreciate both sides. You can't appreciate artistry on both sides. If you choose one side, you have to hate the other. You have to be against the other. You have to. There is no appreciation between both sides. You can't be a fan of both. It has to be like if you like Marvel, you have to now hate DC. If you like Cardi B, you have to hate anybody she's in a beef with. And I want to talk about the rabid people, the crazy folks that call themselves fans, which brings me to my first point. These crazy people that want to speak on the Remy Ma, Clarissa Shields, and Papoose craziness that's going around. Look, first of all, just because you wasn't tuned in to battle rap and you didn't know about Papoose doesn't mean everybody else didn't know. Just because you wasn't aware of all that stuff Papoose was doing when he was just controlling all the streets and everybody was listening to his stuff, just because you don't know about that, that doesn't mean you get to speak for the entire fandom and say, hey man, ain't nobody know about you until you hooked up with Remy Ma. That's just not true. Plenty of people knew about him. He was very known. Which brings me to Clarissa Shields. Just because you wasn't aware that this chick was already an Olympian, just because you didn't know that, doesn't mean everybody else didn't know. Doesn't mean you get to speak on everybody. And now nobody even knew you before you decided to sleep with a married man. Just because you didn't know about her, because you don't know about the T-Rex and you wasn't there for her journey, doesn't mean everybody else wasn't there. I'm a fan of boxing. And me personally, I wanted to see all of the female fans get more recognition. So when somebody like the Olympian Clarissa Shields starts winning and winning and winning and winning and getting in the Guinness Book of Records for winning, yeah, I'm going to pay attention to that. I knew way back before this whole Papoose, Remy Ma, Clarissa Shields stuff. I knew who she was way before that. But just because some rabid, crazy people who call themselves fans didn't know that, that doesn't mean it goes for everybody. But yes, that brings me to point number two, the reason why I'm making the video in the first place, because I believe that Clarissa Shields has a point. Now, I'm not thinking it's the entire point and that she's correct on everything and that whoever she's against, I'm against them. It's not like that. But in a recent interview, I think she had a point when she said, if I was just some Instagram model with no name, people wouldn't really care about this. They wouldn't care too much. But I think because Clarissa Shields is actually a big name, now people care. Because there's a lot of crazy people that call themselves Remy Ma fans that figure if I'm for Remy Ma, I now have to hate Papoose and I now have to hate Clarissa Shields. And I think one of the reasons why they ultimately hate Clarissa Shields is because you can't just shoo away her name like she's a nobody, because she is a big name. She is a a person that is widely recognized, whether you like her or not. She is very successful. She is getting money. She is a winner, and she is actually the best at what she does today. And I think that really gets under people that want to hate on Clarissa and Papoose in favor of Remy Ma. Now, I'll give Remy Ma her credit, okay? Because unlike a lot of people, unlike these crazy folks out here, I'm a fan of both. I'll say Remy Ma probably is way more street smart than Clarissa Shields. Which is why when people say, oh, well, Clarissa Shields, she box her out. And other people say, oh, well, there's a tool for that. You know what I'm saying? There's a stick for that. And okay, that's Remy Ma's avenue. I'm pretty sure she knows the streets way more than Clarissa. And there's no debate that Remy Ma is a way better rapper than Clarissa Shields. I'll give her that because I'm a fan of both. I appreciate both. I like seeing Remy Ma succeed. When I hear that Remy Ma has all this stuff under her belt and she's getting money, she's successful, she's winning, I like that for her. Because I like Remy Ma. I like hearing her lyrics. I like hearing when she rap because she's freaking great at rapping. I like hearing that. But I'm not such a fan of Remy Ma that I now have to hate the other side. I like hearing Papoose rap. I like seeing Clarissa Shields fight. I will give the credit to Remy Ma. Great rap artist. She's street smart. She been through it. She out of jail. She out of prison. She no longer in there anymore. That's great for her. She's got money. And I'll even say this. I think she's way better looking than Clarissa Shields. I'll say that for me personally. I'm not going to speak for nobody else, but for me personally, I think Remy Ma is much better looking than Clarissa Shields. That's just me. I will give her her credit, is the point. But at the same time, I got to give Clarissa Shields her credit. Because when it comes to rap, there's nobody saying that this generation, Remy Ma, is the face of female rap. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that there was a generation where Remy Ma was at the peak of female rap. Could nobody touch her? Nobody's better than Remy Ma at rapping. Nobody on the face of the planet can touch her when it comes to rap. Nobody said that. There is no generation where there's a thing for Remy Ma being the absolute top of female rap. Nobody's saying she earned the most money. Nobody's saying she has the absolute best lyrics out of any female rapper ever. Nobody's saying, oh man, she was in the Guinness Book of Records for what she was doing. Nobody's saying that. As great as Remy Ma is, as great as I think she is, I can't give her that credit. But I can say something similar for Clarissa Shields. I can, whether you like her or not. I can say that Clarissa Shields is in the Guinness Book of Records for what she does. For what she does for boxing, I can say she's in the Guinness Book of Records for that. I can say that she's undefeated, undisputed. I can say that in boxing, she is the main face of 3 different divisions. She got the titles for all of them. Clean sweep, Clarissa Shields does. I can say that when it comes to female boxing, current, not all time, because Layla and Ann Wolf is a real thing, okay, but not of all time, but of today's current female boxing people right now, I can say there is no name above Clarissa Shields. None. None on earth. Okay? No Katie Taylor, no Carolyn Dubois. As much as I love Carolyn Dubois, I wish nothing but success for that girl. No Shadeja Green, and I wish she gets better and gets back on her journey. No Alicia Baumgartner, no Amanda Serrano, none of those names. None of the, no Price, none of them. None of those names are above Clarissa Shields. And as a sister, I gotta cheer her on. I gotta cheer her on. She is the biggest name in female boxing that's currently fighting today. She had to go to a whole different sport to finally lose something. I can say that about her. I can say that at what she does, she is the top name. There is no name above hers when it comes to female boxing. I can't say the same about Remy Ma, but at the same time, as much as I love Clarissa Shields, I'm not going to love Clarissa Shields and hate Remy Ma. But I think that's what gets under their skin. That you can't say that she's some dumb bimbo Instagram model that gets paid for her looks and she ain't got nothing else for her. She ain't got nothing else. She ain't got no motion. She ain't making no money. She definitely ugly. She all this, she all that. You can't say that about her, which is why they keep repeating the same stupid mess that, oh, she's sleeping with a married man, and for conveniently every single time forget that Remy Ma was the one who stepped outside of the marriage. She the one who cheated. When we were all looking at Papoose and Remy Ma as the standard for enduring black love, she the one who betrayed that. She went the literal easy route and went for Easy the Block Captain. She did that. And it gets under their skin that Papoose didn't just completely dog her out and talk bad about her, but he went and arguably elevated and went to get a bigger name than even Remy Ma. And that's what gets under their skin, that he didn't go for a nobody. He went for somebody extremely successful. And I say arguably because as great as Remy is, as much money as she's making, as beautiful as she is, and I'll give her all that, is an arguable case that Clarissa is the bigger name, since she's the absolute best at what she does. And I think that's what gets under their skin, that she isn't a nobody. You can't just shoo her name away like she isn't well known. So they're thinking in their mind, Papoose actually got some woman of substance that constantly talks about Papoose all the time, as she should. That's her man. Okay? They chose each other. And for once, somebody's actually holding it down for Papoose. That's what it looks like. And that gets under their skin because she's not a nobody. She's not stupid. She's not broke. And to be truth be told, as much as they like to say it, they lying. She's not ugly. And since they can't say this about her, they have to constantly attack her with the same stupid points. But like I said, I think Clarissa Shields has a good point when she said, because she's not some stupid model that gets paid for pictures and she's not a nobody, they hate on that. I think she's got a point on that. But once again, I'm not crazy. I like Clarissa Shields. I like Papoose. But I don't like them so much that I hate Remy Ma. I appreciate everybody in this area. Okay? I want success for everybody. But these crazy folks out here, they don't understand that you can appreciate both sides. But anyway, that's just currently all of my thoughts on how I see this going. That's just how I see it.